Hello everyone. So today we will be discussing the topic food spoilage and what are the causes of food spoilage and what are the types of food spoilage. Now this is a very important topic when we are concerned about our health and about our safety, because if we consume inedible foods or the foods that have been spoiled, we can get diseases and it is not good for our health. So it is important to recognize the food if it has been spoiled or if it is fresh for consumption. So first of all, we need to know what exactly is food spoilage. So any changes in visual, smell and texture of food that makes it unacceptable for consumption is called food spoilage. So whenever you see the food appearing to be not good, or you see the color of the food has changed, or the texture of food has changed, and off odors are coming out of the food, you assume that the food has got spoiled. Like whenever you go to a vegetable market, you buy only the fresh ones, because just by looking at the color you get to know that the vegetable is good or not for consumption. It is the process in which food deteriorates to the point it is not edible to humans, or its quality of edibility becomes reduced. So, when the food gets spoiled, it is unedible for consumption as it can cause us health risk or other kind of food poisoning or toxic diseases. So that is why it is always recommended to check the food if it has spoiled or not before consuming. Now let's know about the result. What food spoilage can be result of what? Insect damage, physical injury, enzymatic degradation and microbial activity. So if we talk about insect damage, whenever the food, you see the food where insects are hovering around it, you just don't consume it because it is unlikable in appearance, and also you know that if the insects are harboring on it, the food has got spoiled. Then in physical injury, for example, when during transportation the food are taken from one place to another, due to stacking pressure the food gets spoiled because its texture gets damaged. Then in enzymatic degradation, food gets spoiled due to enzymes, because the enzymes cause chemical reactions in the food. Then microbial activity. Now microorganisms like bacteria, yeast and molds, they cause spoilage in food. Let us know about the types of food spoilage. First, physical spoilage. It is due to moisture loss or gain. So, for example, if we see the bread, whenever there is moisture loss from the bread, it appears to be very thin in texture, and we are not. It is not favorable to consume it. While if we see the bread who has gained a lot of moisture, it appears soggy, which is again unacceptable for consumption. So physical appearance also matters the most when you're consuming food or when you're buying food from the market. Next kind of spoilage is chemical spoilage, which occurs due to oxidation of fat or browning of fruits and vegetables. Now, fat oxidation, it is the process in which fatty foods are exposed to oxygen in the air or from the external environment. Now, this oxygen reacts with the food and cause chemical reactions, which leads to rancid flavor and off odor in fatty foods. So this chemical reaction that is taking place in a food, it comes under the chemical spoilage. Then another reason is browning of fruits and vegetables. Now there are two types of browning, enzymatic and non-enzymatic browning. In enzymatic, browning takes place in the presence of enzyme polyphenol oxidase, while the non-enzymatic browning occurs in food because of the reaction between the sugar and protein. So this all, wherever in food the chemical reaction is taking place, it is likely to cause chemical spoilage. The next spoilage is microbial spoilage, which occurs due to microorganisms like bacteria, yeast and molds. So Now we will study about the different food spoilage that occur in different kind of foods. For example, in meat, as you can see in the image, the meat has got spoiled in the image, and you can likely see it that how the spoiled meat appears. Now, the storage temperature is very important factor when you are storing the meat, and meat can usually get spoiled by penicillium, mucor, alternaria, and certain sliminess also occurs. Sliminess is a stickness in the meat which occurs due to lactobacillus, enterococci, Brocotrix, thermosfecta. Then sour spoilage occurs due to lactic acid bacteria, which produces lactic acid. So, in meat, if the acidic flavor is coming, it is due to lactic acid bacteria, which causes sour spoilage because it produces lactic acid. Then, greening occurs due to chemical reaction taking place in meat, which produces gases like hydrogen peroxide and hydrogen sulfide. Then next we will study the spoilage in poultry and eggs. So fluorescent pseudomonads cause spoilage in the poultry, which is the name of a microorganisms. Then pseudomonads are common, but molds like penicillium, cladosporium grow in air sacs and cause spoilage. So these are the microorganisms which are usually responsible for spoilage in meat and poultry and eggs. Next is fish spoilage. So it is spoiled by the autolysis or oxidation of bacterial activity. So autolysis is a process in which the cells or tissues themselves get deteriorated because of the production of enzymes. And oxidation also occurs due to bacterial activity. So bacteria concentrated on the outer slime, gills and intestines. Now when these bacteria react along with the oxygen, they produce off odor, which like ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, trimethylamine, which causes off odor, and you get to know that the meat or the fish has been spoiled. It usually is produced by pseudomonas, acinetobacter, moraxella bacteria. Next is spoilage in milk and dairy products. So as you all know, the shelf life of milk is usually 1 to 2 days, but after 2 days the milk is likely to get spoiled due to bacteria, microorganisms or the external climatic conditions. So psychotrophic pseudomonas are common in bulk stored raw milk. If you take unpasteurized raw milk, usually the microorganism which is responsible for its spoilage are psychotrophic pseudomonas. Psychotrophic means that they can grow at very low temperature conditions. That means they can survive the extreme low level temperature conditions, cold conditions. So in pasteurized fluid milk, there are aerobic spore formers such as bacillus that cause spoilage, and in butter, usually pea putrefaction causes spoilage due to production of organic acid. Then rancidity occurs also because butter is very rich in fat, so it is more likely to get oxidized, and lipolysis can occur in butter, so rancid flavor may develop. Now next we will study about the spoilage of fruits and vegetables. So usually there are different types of spoilage, like for example bacterial soft rot, which is caused by Erwinia carotivora, as you can see in the image. These are spoiled by the bacterial soft rot. Then there is anthracnose, which is a very famous one, usually occurs in bananas, capsicum. It is caused by Colitridium lindemuthaneum. Then there is black mold rot, which is caused by Aspergillus niger, and Rhizopus soft rot caused by the species of Rhizopus. Alternaria rot caused by the Alternaria tenax. In cereals also spoilage occurs, and which are usually caused by Aspergillus species, Penicillium, Mucor, Rhizopus. Ropiness in bread is caused by the Bacillus subtilis, Bacillus licheniformis, red bread caused by Serratia medicines. So these are the names of the microorganisms which cause different types of spoilage in different foods. Thank you for watching this